So I'm gonna make my video sitting on the porch tonight. One of the things we like to do here in the South is sit out on the porch, especially whenever we have a good thunderstorm, good rainstorm come up. It's not really another feeling like it. The way the wind blows, the way you get to hear the rain off the roof, it's actually a really beautiful thing. President Trump held a rally last night. Good job, Trump. Keep them rallies coming. We need to make sure that we get as many votes as we can by November. God help us if the left wins. If the left wins, we will be open to universal income, universal housing, universal health care. You name it, pretty much any far left socialist idea will become the new normal. We will also, of course, be subject to them trying to get rid of the Second Amendment, which is not going to be an easy thing. I mean, I can tell you down here in the South, we'll die on our knees. Let me rephrase that. Down here in the South, we'll die on our feet standing before we die on our knees giving up our weapons. It won't happen. It's just the way it is. We're not going to give up our constitutional rights. The country has gone so far from what it was founded on. It's founded on freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to bear arms, all these different wonderful freedoms that other people around the world do not have, but for some reason I'm just going to call them crackpots in our society, don't think that we need these freedoms anymore. They'd rather be able to police what you say and police what you think and police what you do and tell you when and you can and can't go to church or whether or not you're allowed to own a firearm. None of that is up to them. The Constitution gives us full right to say what we want, like it or don't like it, to express ourselves how we want, to gather and protest, which has been exercised a lot by the left lately, and we didn't hear shit about coronavirus while that was going on. So don't start saying something about coronavirus as soon as some conservatives start gathering together. The hypocrisy in our media is just unreal. But back to the point at hand. We've got a hypocritical elite class leading our society. We gotta vote them out, guys. We gotta get rid of them. They are not for the working class men and women in this country. Even though the working class men and women in this country run everything, pay for everything, we don't get to run anything. They basically take everything out of our checks, and they want more. They will get more if the Democrats win this election. But they take everything from us, and they blow it on whatever they feel like blowing it on. They redistribute. We're not too far off from communist China, or matter of fact, most of our leaders love communist China. They'd like to be able to control us that way. And quite frankly, when you take away people's faith, they're easy to control. When you take away their guns, they're easy to control. They can't fight back. So they've got the right game plan to try to attempt this. But let's look at them for a second. Let's look at, say, Seattle, Chop, Chaz, whatever you want to call it. This area was started by protesters protesting the death of black men. The very first thing they did when they occupied the area was build a wall. The second thing they did was get firearms. And then they started checking, basically doing stop and frisk, checking identifications and on everybody that came in or out. So the very things that they say are evil and should not be done was the very first things they did. Now, keep in mind, again, This movement was started because of supposedly the death of black men. Just the other night, in that same area, they killed a black man. The hypocrisy of these people is insane. They're like the brown shirts for Hitler. I mean, they're really just wackos. We've let them get by with way too much at this point. I mean, if we continue to go down this path of mob rule, we will lose our society. You know, I was talking to several men today at the local flea market. All of them, every single last one of them, has lots of guns backed up. They have lots of ammo backed up. And before they give up their rights, they will fight. So, it's just kind of strange to me that everybody just thinks that we'll just accept the desecration of our nation, our flag, our constitution, our freedoms, and our liberties, and just accept it as what it is. We won't. We won't accept it. We will fight back, and we will win.